Mrs. Oaks and I will get together and talk about, since I surprised her with this, and talk about next steps in proceeding, and we will make sure to keep everyone informed about what steps we're taking and our actions, and try to bring this to closure in a short amount of time. So we would expect from this, Mr. Rowland, that there will be full cooperation down in your office with making these available, those records available, whatever they might be, and they're still in that level of confidential whatever. It's just going to be making those available and making that option available. So, given that...
One more thing.
Oh, okay.
Will we be sending Mr. Borenstein a letter asking him for an extension, because there was a comment in the letter about undue delay?
Undue delay. That, I appreciate the way you read these things, I'll tell you.
Well, he said within 10 days, and it forbids you to allow...
Okay.
Mr. Borenstein will give you another 10 days.
Oh,
thank you. Mr. Borenstein, please note Mr. Borenstein has given the Board of Education another 10 days. So that's what date? What date are we looking at? February 27th plus 10 plus 10. So we have 20 days from February 27th, correct? Okay?
I beg your pardon?
Well, February 27th was sent via email, and
so do we need to...
We're hustling.
Do we need to schedule a closed session on this item at this point in time?
I originally had hoped maybe we could, I wasn't optimistic whether I'd get this vote or not, but originally, yes, I wanted actually to schedule a closed session just for this, if necessary, just for this single item of the review of any confidential documents. So we could pick a date now, but I couldn't guarantee until I talked with Mrs. Oaks about how we can coordinate this review and in what time frame. I would hope it's something we could do within just a few days. And
can you hire an attorney in just a few days?
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
It's going to be brought before the board for approval?
We'll see.
Okay.
Actually, the president and vice president were authorized to select and hire outside counsel. So that was what the motion was, and that's what went through the vote. So yes, I think we can, and at which point I hope maybe next week we can have a closed session. Would that be within a time frame you're thinking of? I have to count the days. March 17th. Okay. So let's, Mrs. Oaks and I will work on this, and let me email out to board members if you don't mind.
Mr. Borenstein, if we go over 5 days, could you allow us another 5?
I'm going to be reasonable with this. I'm not going to. If you need a few more days time, I'll happily go along with that.
Okay. Well, we'll keep you in the loop and tell you where we're going here. But right now we have some direction, and I hope a reasonable next step in resolving this matter. So, given that, we are going to be going into closed session, but first, so this is the end of this open session piece, but prior to adjourning into closed session, where on our agenda we will be talking about, in closed session, negotiations, expulsions, readmissions, admission of a student, public employee discipline, dismissal, release complaint, and board discussion concerning response to uniform complaint. Prior to the board adjourning into closed session for those items, is there anyone from the public who'd like to comment on the closed session agenda items? Okay, hearing or seeing no response, then we thank you very much for attending this opening session of this beginning open session. We will adjourn to closed session where we will re-adjourn for open session at 7:30 p.m. Thank you.